Okay, Boker Tov. A good Vach. Today is the yortzeit of the Arizal, the one who created a whole new approach in Kabbalah, which is the approach that became the approach adopted by Lubavitch, particularly. There are others, and generally from the Baal Shem Tov on, but particularly Lubavitch's, when there are arguments in Kabbalah about, just as there are in the Gemara, and when there is an argument in the Kabbalah, Chabad in general follows the viewpoint of the Arizal. And one of the viewpoints, or let's say two of the viewpoints of the Arizal that were, I don't know if the word is revolutionary, but certainly that he emphasized and became part and parcel of Lubavitch, are the notions of birurim, rectifications, that this world is a world in which everything is given to us to interact with in the way that Hashem wants us to in order to create rectifications, to straighten out the world. Tikkun olam is called, fixing the world. And the other is davening, the emphasis on davening. Maybe there are others, but these are definitely two of the major emphases in the Torah of the Torahs of the Rizal that didn't exist before. And one of them, which is davening, we're going to get into today. But before we do, we'll start the Hayomium for today, Av, the 5th of Av. So it goes like this. The Baal Shem Tov commented, well, interesting, it speaks about birurim, rectifications. Every physical object whose use is permissible possesses good and evil elements. The material element, and he means the physicality per se, and the focus, even desire for the physicality per se, for itself, is evil. And the godly life force that gives life to the physical is good. So the person utilizing the physical object must turn from evil, right? He's quoting, turn away from the evil, not focus and not be embedded in the search for satisfaction in the physical per se, but turn from that and turn your attention to the pleasure, and not only the pleasure, but the mission accomplished. That's by turning toward the godly force, which is embedded in and giving life to this physical thing. So sur mera, turn from evil, v'asei toiv. The sur mera, turn from evil, means not to desire the physical pleasure which is in its materiality, and to do good is the desire to nourish the spiritual. That is the spiritual energy, which is supported by the godly vitality in that object. Another drush, so that's a drush in sur mera v'asei toiv. But the plain meaning is just don't do anything bad, just do only good. The drush here that we're looking at, more internal, which is part of the Kabbalah of the Arizal, is look at the thing, and in the thing itself, see that there are two sides: the materiality for its own sake, and the life force which is enlivening the materiality, and focus on that. Another one is make peace and pursue it. The person who turns from evil and does good must seek and pursue making peace between the physical and the godly life force that vitalizes it. And this is basically if you look at this, is a good definition of avodas habirurim, what it means to rectify the world, or rectify the sparks, to bring forth the godliness from the mundane. Ayom yom. So with that, we'll turn back to what we started. We started the Igeres HaKodesh, the holy letters of the, it's called Igeres HaKodesh. The same word as the Rebbe's writings are called Igros, same word, but this is vocalized Igeres. And don't ask me why. You could ask me why, but I have no answer why one is vocalized. Igeres HaKodesh here and Igros HaKodesh over there. Nevertheless, These are holy letters of the Alter Rebbe. And in the first of the holy letters that we learned, he introduced the notion of the importance of davening. And he's going to now write a pastoral letter to his flock, a little bit of remonstration, a little bit of musar, telling them about the importance of davening, telling us in plain English or plain Hebrew the importance of davening. This is on page Kuf Gimel in this edition of the Tanya. As I said, I don't have with me the lessons in Tanya. So if anyone has that and wants to orient others, you could take yourself off mute and just tell us where the page is in Lessons in Tanya, if anybody has that. All right. If not, we'll go. The Alter Hapam, and now this time, the Alter Rebbe says, now, this time I want to take the opportunity, might be a way of saying that, to tell you, Hine Yaisif Shenis, I'm going to add and second, for a second time, I'm going to Yaisif Shenis, Shenis Yodai, again with my hands, B'teisefes Bir, by adding an explanation, Ubakosha, and I'm putting in the word sincere, beseeching, and to beseech, kefula, doubled and redoubled, shtucha, and doubled and extended. That, and this that I'm saying now should be uprusha lifnei kol anshe shloimim. It should be extended on and sent out to and in front of all the anshe shloimim. That's what we call Hasidim even today, anash. Anshe Shlomeinu, or Anshe Shlomi, men of peace, people of peace. That's the Anash, Lubavitch, Anash. That's the spelled out here, Anshe Shlomi. I'm sending out a deep felt request, the Alter Rebbe says, to all of us, to his congregation. Hakruvim b'harachaikim, those who are close by and those who are far away. What's his beseeching? What's his request? What's his heartfelt cry to all of us? It is, L'kayim aleihim, to fulfill amongst them, shekol yimei achoil, that all the weekdays, leyordu lifnei hateva, there should not go up to lead the davening. And it's the literal meaning is going down in front of the ark, meaning stand in front of the congregation and pray. Go walk down to the front of the congregation where the ark is and pray. That there should not, the person who does this should not be habale oiskim, businessmen, business people, she'ein lehem ponai kokar, who don't have much free time. Who should go? Rak oisim sheyesh lehem ponai. The ones who lead the prayers, and he's talking about weekday prayers, should be those who have enough time on their hands, or the teachers in yeshiva, who are in a nice seder yeshiva, which includes davening, or those who are relying on the table of their father, meaning they're still being supported by their parents, and therefore don't have to run out to work. And all of these categories of people, the malamdim, these ones who were not working, the ones who have free time, I'm encouraging that they should extend the davening, shachar, morning davening, erech shar umechsa, the pokos, at least 1.5 hours should be the time from the time that we begin davening to end davening. Kol yimei sechoil, all the days of the week, mehem yeh hayored lifnei hateva. And these are the people who should go down and lead the davening. How do you select which one of them? Al pi hagayro, either by a lottery, or al pi ritzi haroib, or according to who the majority wants to send down to lead the prayers. But who ya'osi for love, and that person who is either by lottery or by will of the people sent to lead the prayers should gather to himself, surrounding him, surrounding him, Kol hasmuchim al shulchan abihim, all the others who don't have to go to work because they're being supported by their parents, or the malamdim, the teachers, that all of them together should be able to extend the davening, Kamehu bechol yeshon kamehu, and this should be bebal yeshuna, not ever change. No, I plead with you, and I plead with you. That's during the week. Ach b'shabbosos, on Shabbos v'yomim tovim, shegam kol bali yoiskim yesh lehem punai, that even the ones who have to go to work don't go to work on the Yom Tov and Shabbos. Now they have free time. And this is Shabbos and Yom Tov is a great time for these people who are normally working to extend their davening and with the kavanah of their heart and soul to Hashem. On the contrary, on them is actually more fitting. And it's not brought here, the reasons, but reasons which are given in other places, because it says in Chazal say that the tefillah, the davening of a Baal Oisek, of one who is a business person or out in the world, can't be compared to one who's not out in the world. First of all, the avoida becomes really part and parcel of the birurim, right? All the work that you do during the weekday now goes up on Shabbos. So there's a special, and in addition to that, the one who's out in the world, sees the cracks that need to be filled, sees the opportunity, and so there are a couple, at least those two reasons are brought in other places, and I'm just applying them here for why the Alter Rebbe, maybe why the Alter Rebbe is saying that it's even more appropriate that these balabatim who work during the week should be the ones who lead the prayer. As is written in the Code of Jewish Law of Orach Chaim, that section which deals with this. And he takes it now, a drush from the written Torah, which says, Sheishish Yomim Tahavoid, 6 days you should work, the Yom HaShabbos, you rest. So there's an end there, that the 6 days of the week are now going to have an elevation on Shabbos, which is, again, indicating, or at least hinting at, the notion of one of the reasons why the ones that are most appropriate to lead the davening on Shabbos are the ones who are out in the world during the 6 days when you're doing. The Yom Shabbos LaHashem. It said, Sheishis Yomim Ta'avoid, 6 days you should work. And Yom Shavi Shabbos LaHashem. Shabbos also means, as we know, return to Hashem. So all the sparks that you have been dealing with all during the week are elevated on Shabbos. Return la Hashem Elokecha, Daika, and it says, and that's specifically Kula la Hashem, that everything that's done in the weekday now goes up on Shabbos. Sheshes Shomim Tavoid, 6 days you should work, and the 7th day, Yom Shvi, Shabbos, everything should return. So that's a reason for sending to the one who leads the prayer, the Balabatim, the one who are occupied during the week. And therefore, given all this, they are the ones who should go and lead the prayer, but Shabbos and Yom Tov, Al Pi HaGoyro, also again, either choose them through lottery, or according to the will of the majority, Kamosha Omar or Kamosha Kosev Ishtaket, as I wrote to you last year. And for this, and in this vein, it must be made known, that according to the way I'm thinking, the Alter Rebbe says, according to my das, that I have a viewpoint and an idea, Im Yirtz Hashem, if God will help me with this, Lishleach lakol haminyanim, to send to all of the minyanim in the territory, Meraglin, spies, the Seser, who are, no one knows who the spies are. I'm going to send spies to all the shuls. You're not going to know who the spy is. L'yoda, to know, Ulhadiya, and to make known, apparently to him, Kol mi she'ef shalei, who it is, every place where there is a possibility, Kol mi she'esh le'panai, and there are people there who do have the time, Laharich, to extend and lengthen the davening, with the ayin b'tefillah, and to concentrate in their prayer, umisatzel, and they're lazy. That these people, these are harsh words now he's giving. These people, they should be judged to be distanced from this place. I'm pushing them away from me. To be pushed away with two hands, to come over here where I am, to hear Chassidus. He's saying, I'm not welcome. I'm pushing these people away. I don't want them here. They are forbidden to come to me to hear Chassidus. And of course, this is also expression used a lot in Chazal. From the negative, you can infer the positive. That how much, with much deep love and thick bands of drawing close, the Alter Rebbe feels to those who do what he's asking them to do. Hein l'shmoim, those who listen to him, Yoinim, Tov and Venoim, and answer, the Tova Aleihem Brochas Toiv, and on them there should come to them good blessings. The Ein Toiv el Torah, and there's no good except Torah. And that's today's little letter from the Alter Rebbe to us. I say, and it's a little interesting, consistent with Hey Av, which is one of the clear new sort of emphases in the Kabbalah of the Rizal, which was the time in davening. All right. Well, it's hard to say that the Bechains are easy, right? Daven like as if you meant it, not as if you meant it, with meaning. Anybody? Comments? Thoughts?
I don't know if you mentioned that today's the yard site of the Arizal.
I did.
Yeah. Yes. So.
At the beginning, we talked about it, and the Chidushim. A couple of the characteristics of the Kiddush, the novelty that was introduced by the Arizal. The Arizal followed Moshe Cordovero, and Moshe Cordovero is the author of the Pardes, which is the classical delivery of the Masorah of Kabbalah that's influenced our generations. And the Arizal followed him. And it's interesting, there's a story, Rabbi Ginsburg tells a story in one of his lectures. The Arizal lived in Egypt. And Moshe Cordovero, of course, lived in Sfats with the Baal Shulchan Aruch Yosef Cairo. And it was 2 years before the Moshe Cordovero passed away that the Arizal moved to Sfats. And the story goes that the Moshe Cordovero, the Ramak, said that whoever sees a pillar of light on my bed as I am passing, he is the successor. He's the next link in the chain. And this young man, he died, I think, when he was 30-something, 32, 34. He only lived, the Arizal came to Sfas, he lived only 2 years after that, more than that. He died in a plague that took over in Sfas. The Arizal saw the pillar of light, and with that, there was no question that he was a successor. And he's also an innovator. And we spoke at the beginning, if you weren't here in the class, that at least a couple of the innovations, it's not innovations, but emphases that he brought to Kabbalah was the notion of Kabbalah teachings that had to do with rectification of the world, and with tefillah, and with the emphasis on davening. And so on this day, this whole piece on davening is timely. It's always timely, but sometimes it's given to us to see it, and sometimes we don't.
The Arizal has an emphasis on davening?
Oh. Yes. Davening and Berurim, and Simsum. Simsum was, these are notions which are always all there, but these were his emphasis. The Simsum, and the notion that the concealment is for the sake of a revelation. Right? That's the Simsum. That bringing out that there's more to be revealed in the Simsum, which relates to Berurim, which is that, as we said in Hayom Yom today, that in the darkness, which is the physical only per se, that doesn't reveal godliness, there are sparks that need to be revealed. And the third thing, there may be, I'm sure there are more. I'm not an expert in this by any means, but also the emphasis on prayer.
You know what you said about the concealment is for the point of being revealed. That's
occurred to me yesterday, and it's interesting, of the yard side, that Gola actually means revealing.
Gilui means revealing. Gola in Aramaic means exile.
I know, but exile is the same letters. Gola, legalot.
Of course.
So
of course,
that's what I'm saying.
That's the origin of just dropping the aleph in, changes the exile to
no, but
Gola.
Gola itself could mean revealing. Gola, the exile, is the work of Gola.
Galei.
No? Galei. Megillah.
It's definitely there.
I mean, the Gal is part of it. Definitely, the Gal is revelation. Absolutely. Yeah. Galenai, open up my eye. Megillah, reveal the story. The Gal is the thing that goes either way, exile or redemption. What's going to be revealed? But it's all about revelation. But you have a choice. Which way is going to go? Sarah, your hand is up, Sarah Sandler.
Yeah, just a few additions about the Arizal from
Please.
the Makom of the Arizal in Sfat, where we live. So it's told to us that the Arizal knew the language of all the different aspects of creation, and that he also, when he would meet a person, this probably is true of many tzaddikim, that he could read their soul, he could sense their soul in order to guide them. One of the more unusual things about the Arizal is that how we know about most of the places, especially in Eretz Yisrael, where tzaddikim and righteous people are buried, is because the Arizal, and without that, we would not actually have that knowledge. There was Arizal that really revealed that. And he came here at 36 and passed away at 38 years.
2 years, yeah.
Passed away in a plague in Sfat, actually.
Right, exactly. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
2 years. And he revolutionized the whole approach to Kabbalah, which had been percolating since the time of Adam Arishon.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants their name said, they should put it up on, or thought about in Sfat, they should put it up on the chat.
You know, you have the class list. Maybe you don't have it handy. I could send it again. Because it's virtually everybody here, I think, is in.
I'm not at the cover. Sure. He really wants it to be. I can't do that right now. That's too.
Okay, I thought that's what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, I wish I could, but not able to. But I'm so that's also good.
You're close. You're a lot closer than we are physically.
I'm very, very close. I would say my life, of all the years I lived here, I was at the Arizal quite a bit. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Rivka, by the way, I'm not sure if she's on the call, but if you guys noticed, and she's not on the call, she was at last night, mentioned the entire class list at the Oihel. And if any of you on the call are in any doubt whether you're on the class list, just send me your name and I'll add it to the class list. Okay. Anybody else?
I have a question. Just Arizal, the acronym. What does it stand for?
Ari. Zal is Zakreni Lebrocha. Zal. So the name is Ari.
Right.
Yitzhak.
Right.
Adonenu Rabbi Yitzchak.
Adonenu Rabbi Yitzchak. Thank you. Good.
Thank you.
From Laurier. That's how you get the Lamed.
What?
From Laurier. That's how you get the Lamed in Arizal. Laurier, from Laurier. That's where he was from.
Ah.
Well, wait a minute. I thought that, maybe I'm wrong. I thought the Zal was Zakreni Lebrocha. Adonenu Rabbi Yitzchak Zakreni Lebrocha. Isn't that how it goes?
Maybe.
So,
yes, I believe that is how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. In the song, in the for Shabbos, there's his name is spelled out. Ani Rabbi Yitzchak Luria. But okay, so we have what to do. We have to daven. And I think I will go do that soon, and hopefully all of you have either done it or will do it soon too. So we meet again tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem. Happy.
Thank you.
His neshama should have an aliyah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.